This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details. And just in case you missed it, it's the top 5 sports talkers of the day. Now, it's time for Dan Barrero's Top 5 at 5. Brought to you by Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. Never clean your gutters again. Learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com.
All right, top 5 at 5. And if you got too much stuff, we can extend it because Kessler's not going to join until 5:30. So don't hesitate in turning it into the 520 Sports Fix as well if there's enough meat on the bone.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We are going to start hockey just for Kevin Fallness. You've heard of Jack Eichel, pretty good player for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Correct.
He was also eligible for a contract extension this year. Really good player, big-time player. I know Brett Blakemore wanted him desperately on the Wild. A lot of people wanted him on the Wild a few years ago, right, when he was traded from the Buffalo Sabres. Well, he has also, Dan, signed an 8-year contract extension. The average annual value, $13.5 million. $13.5 million. He was entering the final year of an 8-year deal that carried a $10 million cap hit, one that he originally signed with Buffalo. He scored 26 points in 22 games during the Vegas playoff run in 2023 to help them win their first Stanley Cup. They, again, are expected to be Stanley Cup contenders. 8 years, $13.5 million.
I didn't try to do the math on my own. I tried to use a calculator, so I think that's $108 million total. If it's 13.5 times 8 years, correct?
That sounds right.
I got 108. Kaprizov was 136 mil total, correct? And $17 million a year. So, so far, if you're keeping score, and I get it, there's a million permutations as it pertains to Connor McDavid. Kaprizov should feel very good about his agent.
Yes.
Relatively speaking, what he got for him compared to these two big-name players and whatever strategy was being used in both cases, Kirill, at least again for now, and I don't know if there's any other big contracts left to extend, he ends up in the offseason literally being the big winner, and you could argue to a certain extent that it is not even close in terms of yearly value and in overall value as well, correct?
100%.
Yeah. So, does that mean we spent more than we should have? Does that mean Guerin should have played hardball? I don't know if he would have been successful. It clearly, originally, the Wild, Guerin especially, I think, was not happy when the original $16 million a year offer was turned down. Because I think he thought, we're not going to play the game of going real low. And we're just going to offer you what we think you should take. And they said no. And I do think, talking to people and reading things, that originally there was more anger than perhaps we realize, and a little bit of the old bleep you attitude, and then cooler heads prevailed because I think in the end, Guerin knew that they were over a barrel in a way that he had almost no choice but to move the number up. What's interesting is I kept being told, well, there's others who are going to be right there with him or higher.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's left that would be in that category.
Not sure either.
But it hadn't happened yet. It hasn't even come close yet.
No, we're talking 4 or 5 million.
Correct.
And they've already got a cup with their guy, right? That's the other part that's kind of like deflating a little bit. Edmonton,
exactly
Vegas,
right.
They're signing guys that they've had these major runs with.
Correct.
So that hurts. Wild open the season tomorrow night in St. Louis. Russo Radio is going to join about 24 hours from right now from St. Louis. And he and Joe Smith wrote about today the fact that Nico Sturm, according to their sources, is expected to undergo surgery for a back injury that's been ailing him since the first practice of training camp. And they describe it as a significant hole because head coach John Hines planned to deploy Sturm in a variety of ways beyond his fourth line role. We know about Zucchi, and now Sturmey's out as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Louie and I have talked about this. You can the deal on. I mean, I feel like Sturm's value from the beginning was inflated based on what we know of him as a player. And then you factor in the injury as well, and you go, well, I mean, due diligence, back. I mean, now you're asking for who knows when exactly he is going to come back. So I don't view him as a great player at all. They clearly had projected, had convinced themselves, though, that he would serve a significant purpose for them. Maybe they were right, but if they were right, doesn't matter, because he starts the season not just on the injured list, but now, as we knew yesterday, but now facing surgery. Did it say he's already had it or he's going to have it?
It says he's expected to undergo.
Have the surgery. Okay. By the way, we're reminded also, your guy Kyle Connor, Winnipeg Jets, 8 years, $96 million. That was announced earlier today as well. He finished 7th in the NHL last season with 97 points. That's a deal that's going to start in 2026-27.
So Kirill set the market. Everybody's just going underneath it.
That's it, man. He ended up literally setting the market.
That's crazy. We can talk Wolves if you want after this. We can talk baseball if you want after this.
Let's
but otherwise,
extend it.
It's a pretty quiet day in the old sports world.
Let's break. And let's put $1,000 and let's try to get some bonus bucks going, and then let's keep it going before Kessler joins.
The fan and 2 men and a junk truck want to do that. Bonus bucks, national cash contest. 5 o'clock Wednesday, keyword is check. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword check.
Remind me also to discuss some unfortunate news, not health-wise, but career-wise, involving our guy, Sean Salisbury, our Thursday regular. We'll get to that as well when we continue the 520 Sports Fix.
Yeah.
A couple more nuggets for the 520 Sports Fix, a carryover from the top 5 at 5. It is worth noting regarding Sturm that what was one of the biggest gripes from a year ago. We can't win a faceoff. Can't win a faceoff. Can't win a faceoff. Our percentages are awful. And that's allegedly what Sturm was going to offer. In fact, he had offered that apparently during the preseason. So, I just wondered when there was so much fanfare about, bringing him back, that it's like, well, okay, but what are you asking too much from a guy who still has some limitations for obvious reasons, and that didn't even go into the area of whether he might be damaged goods or might have a significant injury as well. What else should we mention here in our carryover?
Well, how about the fact that the Yankees down 6-1?
How about that?
I think it was that when we were watching it here, the last couple minutes of the show.
They were about to be swept.
And Aaron Judge said, "Not so fast, my friend." That was pretty cool.
Not in my house.
And his home run last night
still hasn't landed.
And it was the first... I'm probably reading...
Actually, I think it hit the foul pole, didn't it?
It did.
But it was crushed.
I'm reading too much into this, probably. But it was the first, according to Greeny, because they led with that this morning, it was the first home run he hit all year with a pitch that was outside the strike zone. So, in other words, he wasn't waiting for his pitch. He's like, I got to do something.
He was going Kirby Puckett on the pitch.
I'm Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a great bad ball hitter because my team needs something.
And I love that. So I'm blowing that completely out of proportion.
Don't remember Joe doing that much, but that's just me. I know he's in the Hall of Fame.
Speaking of hitting pitches.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
Speaking of hitting pitches. But it wasn't, I got to work the count, I got to wait, and hopefully I'll get one, and the pitcher makes a mistake. No, my team's about to die, and I got to do something. And the swing, if you watch it, it didn't look very comfortable. I mean, the pitch was up, it was away, you had to fight it off, and it was awesome. I know nobody likes the Yankees except think of Aunt Gal, and she'll tweet in that it was great. But it's exactly what they needed at that point, right? It was great.
No question. By the way, speaking of baseball, Cubs, who have to win tonight or today, they're down 2-0. They've returned home to Wrigley. They scored, the Brewers scored 1 in the top of the first. I think they got helped by one of those, routine pop-ups that didn't get caught. And the Cubs responded with 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning, starting with the local kid here that we talked about with Coomdog yesterday, Michael Busch, with another dong, a solo dong, and then the Cubs scored 3 more in the later in the first. So they're up 4-1. They must win to extend the series. They're down 2-0 in the proverbial best 05.
Tigers also, by the way, extended their series. They beat the Mariners today 9-3. So Game 5. Back
so that's
2-2. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Exactly right. Phillies Dodgers a little bit later tonight. Dodgers looking for the sweep there, and then the Yankees look to continue to stay alive against the Blue Jays tonight at 6:08.
I believe WNBA finals continue tonight in Phoenix? Do they not? I want to say.
Who do I look like? The commissioner?
Well, I know this. Phoenix has to win because they're down. Well, no, let me back up. I forgot. They went best of 7 for the finals this year. So
and it is tonight in Phoenix.
They probably still need to win because if you're down 3-0, not much happens. Not much good happens in basketball playoffs down 3-0 in a best of 7. But they are at the very least, indeed, back home. So I had a WNBA nugget to get Lynx fans going again. I'll save it maybe for between 6 and 6:30 or tomorrow's program as well. And I feel like there was something else about the Jimmy Johnson news. Oh, it's Jerry Jones related.
Yeah,
so Jerry Jones gets nailed, gets caught with the rigid digit middle finger.
Yeah.
And was it who did they play? That was the Jets fans, right?
That sounds right.
I think they beat the Jets most recently. And what was the fine like?
$250,000.
$250,000?
Yeah.
That seems a bit excessive to me. Am I being too kind to Jerry Jones? $250,000 for a bleep you? I don't know. I mean, the stuff that's said during games, before games, after games, sometimes that the mic catches, I get it. It's not it's not becoming
it's not croquet,
of an NBA owner. I certainly understand that part, but maybe he's already on double secret probation for some other things that he did. I'm not sure.
Well, the other part, though, is Tepper, the Panthers owner, he got banged $300,000. He threw a drink at a fan.
Really?
So owners are just melting down, perhaps inspired by Cheryl Reeve. Telling fans to bleep off in Phoenix. She was fined, I think, $15,000 for that, which could be equivalent.
So she got, I see, because of the relative
$250
and all that.
Basically $15 for Cheryl, probably for one of the Joneses, probably less.
Chump change for the Joneses.
And for the Tepper.
Yeah,
he tosses a drink at a fan, gets a $300,000 fine. These owners need to chill, man.
Yeah.
Owners need to have some chill. Mark and Ziggy aren't doing that. Kessler will tell us that.
No, we're way.
Leonard, he's not doing that.
Yeah. He did the proverbial. You tweeted out, I think, a link to the news about who is going to be entertaining at their most
Bad
Super
Bunny.
Bowl. Is it 60?
Sure.
Or 61, whatever number it is. And it was the obligatory Kessler tweet, I should say, good decision, but will never compare to Prince. Who, by the way, this is a big historic day in Prince album history. I think the Mattress album, his first, was released on this day. It was either yesterday or today in 1980. Wow. I've told the story about I was in Atlanta with some With It and Wow friends who had heard it. I had not heard it, and they were way ahead of it, I have to say. They were way ahead of the crowd in saying there's something different about this guy. That was 1980.
And they were right.
Today was the day? What's the name of the album?
No, I'd say your friends were right.
The friends were right, yeah. We'll double check that. I should know the name of the album. It's him posing in front of a mattress, in front of a box spring, as I recall it, rather scantily clad, as Prince occasionally was wont to be, from time to time. But why can't I think of the name of the album? It'll come to somebody. Also, maybe this articulates the popular rage here. 612 guy, my God, this sports market must have infuriated some powerful entity. Every team, every sport, key players, and before the season even begins, pull the pin out of the doll, man. He's speaking about injuries, obviously. Yeah. JJ is still out right now. Blessedly, at this point, knock on Formica, the Wolves are relatively healthy, correct?
Yes, they are. I'm trying to think of any injuries. Conley got his foot stepped on last night in the first quarter. That was dangerous.
Do better, Charlotte. That's all I can say.
Well, it was a player. It was somebody from Indiana.
Okay, all right. In this case?
Jaden McDaniels missed the game for personal reasons. His girlfriend tweeting out that she is now officially outnumbered by boys.
Yes.
So
that's right.
I'm going to read between the lines and say that she must have had a baby.
Yeah.
So congratulations, which means less sleep for the home games for the Wolves. We dealt with that last year.
That's true.
But we can't win at home because we've got too many kids and present fathers.
What is more obnoxious than a preseason NBA game that goes to overtime.
Nothing.
Last night that was the occasion. Somebody said, it may have been your guy who's coming into town, Frank Isola, that the new rule on NBA preseason games that go to overtime is that the games are decided by which team can hit a half-court shot first. That's really not a bad idea. In all seriousness.
Like a shootout.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to see it. Nobody cares, but they would want to see that.
And the people that are left at the game, they can all go down on the court while everybody shoots it. You can go stand by the players, all the fans. Because there's only a couple dozen left. Just go stand there next to everybody. Give people the
I don't know if Johnny
experience.
got in on this, because I know he did a tweet storm last night. I was in and out of the game, and maybe I didn't see enough of a cross-section of it. Dillingham's worrying me. I don't see it yet.
Yeah,
I
agree.
keep waiting for it, and we both were excited about the team moving up to get him, the whole bit. I don't know. I hope it's in him, but it's going to take him longer. Maybe like it's going to take J.J. McCarthy longer, but I still don't see it. I don't see it translating to the professional level. And then that gets back to where, all right, what are you going to do if you can't count on him? And how patient is the head coach going to be? Because he's tended to not be very patient.
I think you can even just hear in how he speaks about Rob Dillingham. I personally agree. And he's asked about it constantly because it's a high-profile pick. They traded up to get him top 10 when they weren't expected to draft in the top 10.
You're right.
And I'm guessing I just feel like you can feel that he doesn't want to bury him, but he also is honest about, I'm not going to lie about what I'm seeing and why he's not out there and what we need from him.
Is Kessler in the house yet?
He's here. He's been here for a long time.
Oh, he has been here?
Yeah, we should break.
Are we behind?
Yeah, we got the Vikings report to get to, and then we got to get to Kessler.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll find what I'm looking for in a minute, and then actually, any discussion of Prince is dangerous with Kessler because, I mean, honestly,
everything's the greatest.
Everything's the greatest that's ever been done. It doesn't make any difference, but we'll get to the bottom of all that and prepare for Kessler's, I guess you could say, travelogue on his big trip to Italy to hang with George Clooney. All of that is coming up.
Time now for the Vikings Report on The Fan, presented by Miller Lite. Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen joins Dan Barreiro next.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
Pat Kessler. Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
I can't trust Obama. He's an Arab.
Pat Kessler.
Tear down this wall.
I did nothing wrong at the Minneapolis airport.
Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
Pat Kessler.
And now, to help Dan break down all the tough questions in politics,
this is Pat Kessler reporting.
Pat Kessler.
Political Wonk.
I feel like a supermodel, except like
this is Pat Kessler on forever.
Channel 4's
Pat Kessler.
with Dan Barreiro on The Fan.
The governor has built a barrier between himself and the voters.
Yeah, there's a barrier, all right. That's for sure. By the way, for the record, as we were reminded by Steelers guy, Dirty Mind is the album I was thinking of that was released on this day by Prince. Well, I guess not technically released by Prince, but his album. On this day in the year 1980, I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I've told the story before. Outside a bar I literally spent 3 to 4 days a week or nights at, named Carlos McGee's. And the With It and Wow group I was with, we're talking about an album called Dirty Mind by Prince, 1980. Came out on this day. Thanks, Steelers guy, for the reminder. Kessy is in the house, or as I now refer to him, Marcello Mastriani. That, when you had those sunglasses on, those Christian Dior sunglasses, with the muffler, the scarf you got going.
Beautiful scarf.
I'm thinking Marcello. You familiar with that name?
Gaardsy.
Marcello Mastriani. That's a compliment.
Yeah, it is.
See, he's good. He's a good-looking man.
This is the new me.
So you go to Italy for 2 weeks.
He is so far away from the farm, I can't even tell you.
You come back a transformed man, correct?
Was I wearing a handbag?
And you had the handbag going.
I did.
You did.
So men wear handbags. I hope you hope you don't have anything against it.
I have one. Yeah, I'm absolutely.
Yeah, so
I don't wear it a lot, but
I'm wearing mine all the time.
This is it. It's the new you.
With the scarf, beautiful scarf from the marketplace.
The muffler
in Florence. I didn't wear them today. It's a little chilly, but the capri pants,
of course,
3/4. Yeah, it's the.
Are you allowed to wear socks in Italy if you're going to be fashionable?
No, nobody. I mean, men in suits. The men are really handsome,
of course, and the women are beautiful.
They're absolutely gorgeous. Men are handsome and stylish, and everybody looks great. No socks with the men in their suits.
No matter what, whether you're wearing dress
see any
shoes,
socks.
Loafers, does anybody wear, the sort of athletic shoes, the Nikes, the sorts of things we're used to here? They do wear those
with $1,000 suits.
Of course, yes. Okay,
absolutely. What? No socks though.
This is changing.
And you think? I know you're a patriot. You are USA.
You hate America.
I don't know why. A USA. You're a patriot.
Yeah, love it or leave it.
You think America is free, Dan?
Love it or leave it.
Do you think it's free?
Yes.
It is. In Italy, you can smoke anywhere you want in public.
You can?
In public, yeah.
You're talking about tobacco or pot or whatever you want.
I did not have one.
You could get a spliff out.
I did not smell once
marijuana.
The sweet sensimilla.
But so it's tobacco?
Not once.
Usually it's tobacco. It's
People
not
are
wacky
smoking,
tobacco.
They're vaping.
Really?
And it's
Did you feel transformed?
This was a transformative. It changed my life. Hanging out at a cafe, leaning out the window with a cigarette and a small coffee.
While watching the Gopher Coaches show.
Absolutely.
With PJ Fleck.
Well, that was
Gaardsy.
That was on our trip from the Alps. As we're being taken back to Lake Como.
I'm not kidding. It was the last 7 minutes. He's never been less relatable to a normal person. I finally kicked him out and said,
enough.
I'm tired of being one-upped
in
every conversation here.
So he insulted
just brace
me.
yourself.
So he insulted. I love Italy. I mean,
who doesn't?
No one.
Everybody
no one doesn't
Italy.
Love Italy. That's the way you say it. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful.
But I am disappointed about one thing.
Tell me what it is.
I should say, maybe you'll surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really want to know, you went everywhere. I'm sure you saw a lot of wonderful things, including the Roman Colosseum. Did you visit the birthplace of Sophia Loren? That's But who, by the way, was born in Rome. Okay. I don't know where in Rome.
Where is
she's still alive? Sophia Loren is still alive. She's like 91 years old. Yes.
Yeah, confirm that for me.
Well,
let's do that. No, I did not.
91 years old.
Yeah.
That's
the most
fantastic.
beautiful woman in the world was Sophia Loren. Yeah. Or is.
Ever.
I'm not going to say was. She's alive.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sorry to say I didn't.
You want to see Sophia Loren in majestic beauty. Rent a motion picture you probably can't even find anymore called El Cid, about the legendary Spanish folk hero played by Charlton Heston, and his beautiful bride is Sophia Loren. And I'm telling you, it's unspeakable beauty in the case of Sophia Loren.
Well, I feel bad. My vacation was wasted.
Yeah. Maybe you couldn't have even seen her.
I know. It's crazy that I didn't, but I felt every moment as if I was walking through a movie, a 1960s Italian movie, everywhere we went. So I'm not going to say I was.
Do Italians love Americans? Do they like Americans, or they like the French? Kind of annoyed. Don't bother me. Kind of look down on.
Most charming people ever. However, like parents with their children, and all of us with children have gone through this.
Yeah.
I'm not angry with America. I'm just very disappointed.
I see.
There was a lot of that.
Anti-Trump sentiment?
There was a lot of that. I was kind of surprised. We never brought it up.
Right.
And frankly, through the whole vacation, I wasn't sure if I was going to be denied re-entry into the U.S. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, people are very disappointed. We bought some wine to ship back, and what happened? There are two price lists, one for the entire world and then another one for the U.S. because of Trump tariffs.
We'll get to that, yeah.
So you got all that. Now, I will just say I wasn't gobsmacked, but I was godsmacked with the churches. Like every 100 feet, there's a church. And I have to go look at every one of them. The only thing I can compare it to, the number of churches per square block, is like a small town in Wisconsin with the number of bars per square block. That's what it was like.
B-E-E-R-R-U-N, beer.
So now you know. Yeah, it was something. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I don't think anybody ever complains about Italy or any part of.
So I did not visit
the Italian experience,
but I did not visit Sophia Loren's.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
I'm very disappointed now. I did, however, visit
the Vatican.
Yes, we did. But I'll tell you one movie.
Okay.
I did visit the last scene in Gladiator.
Really?
Where Russell Crowe is going up the long driveway to the beautiful. I visited that house.
It ain't Ben-Hur, but it's okay.
I also saw the Ben-Hur stuff. Yeah, I mean,
did you? Yeah,
it ain't Ben-Hur.
Yeah,
I get
There's
it.
There's only one Ben-Hur.
There is.
I mean, let's face it.
And I saw
Masala. God, I love that movie.
Yeah, I
still love that movie.
Yeah,
chariot race scene in that movie. Are you kidding me?
And those are authentic.
Yes,
according to the people that I talked to in Italy. Ben-Hur was authentic.
Yeah.
Gladiator, kind of authentic.
It's second level.
And as you mentioned, the Coliseum is bigger than U.S. Bank Stadium.
Well,
by far
isn't part of the issue what strikes most people when they go back to the old countries is there's stuff there that's more than 15 minutes old. There's stuff that's centuries and centuries and centuries old.
And they're still finding it.
Yeah.
When they build a road, they will find an Etruscan village.
Yeah.
Under the ground. It's incredible.
Did you bring back anything you weren't supposed to?
I didn't declare everything, if I could say that.
No, I don't know if you should.
I did declare some of it.
100,000 watt radio.
Quiet.
It doesn't get you.
I forgot to declare this beautiful scarf that I'm wearing. So will that get me in trouble?
It might, actually.
Yeah. So
tell Kessler that in Northeast Minneapolis there are 23 bars and 18 churches.
That's the proper ratio.
Maybe you need to go.
That is the proper ratio. That's fantastic. I love that comparison, and it was. I had to go into every church because some of them are from 600 AD.
Think about it.
And you go in, and finally, my beautiful gal who's with me, I said, I got to go look at this church. She says, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go sit across the street at the wine bar on the piazza and have a couple of glasses of wine. Come and find me when you're done.
Wow.
That is the story of my marriage. The end.
Yeah, well, that's fair. At least,
absolutely.
She doesn't stand in your way.
No, Pat, be free. Be you.
I'd like to hear from Mr. Kessler about his experiences with the protests in Italy. Why isn't that event being shared with the American people via news footage on a daily basis?
There were many protests in Italy, and as a matter of fact, there was a strike where all the public transportation, shut down.
While you were there?
While we were there. For Gaza. They were protesting in favor of a ceasefire in Gaza, Palestinian statehood, all of that.
Good thing you had your driver.
Yeah, I didn't experience any glitches with.
Glad you noticed that other people are having trouble getting around.
Why would you say that?
Did anybody spit on your car?
Why would you say
your special car?
I just assumed.
Yeah,
I took a shot.
Why would you say that?
Well, because it's probably true.
No.
Any George Clooney updates?
Well, I was telling Gaardsy I have video of George Clooney's house of my tour of Lake Como, and I went back and forth. Why would I ever put that up on X? Put the video on Twitter? I mean. Of George Clooney's house where you could see it, and we were right up next to it. And
a lot of security goons?
I didn't see any.
You didn't see any?
But, I'm sure they've got it.
They got to have it.
They got to have it.
Yeah, you got to.
And it's George Clooney. It's not Sophia Loren, but it's George Clooney.
Yeah. Oh,
so it was all of that, and the Russian oligarch whose house has been confiscated on Lake Como.
Really?
By the Italian government because of the money laundering for Putin and Russia.
Yeah.
And the war against Ukraine. So, I mean, they don't mess around. It was a transformative trip, and I thought about you not at all. I thought about you all the time.
Well, I asked about you because it seemed like you disappeared from Twitter for a while, and I'm going, well, did he get arrested? And that's why. Did you? I mean, how aggressive were you at the Vatican trying to get an audience with our favorite Pope from Chicago, Illinois?
Well, Da Pope.
I
stood under the balcony, directly under the balcony.
Just waiting?
For quite a long time. I was yelling as Marlon Brando in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Right. Yes.
Kids, look it up.
Look it up. Yeah.
Stella! Yeah. Except I was yelling, Leo! And did
you cause a scene?
People were looking,
yeah,
and she gets embarrassed. My beautiful wife.
Well, I don't know why. I have no idea.
Oh my God!
But she's got a reputation to uphold.
I know, and it is the Catholic Jubilee, so there are tens of thousands of pilgrims.
So how grand a spot is it? Is it like enormous in a way that you go, I don't even know where to look. It's or when you're there, is it actually smaller than it appears on TV? Bigger
than it appears. With a St. Peter Square with 300,000 people can fit in there.
That's nuts.
And how revered the Pope is, particularly this one, is revered in.
He's off to a
Italy.
great start, it seems.
And a lot of people talking about immigrants and immigration, and they have many of the same issues in Europe as we do in the United States.
Righty gal?
Righty.
That's what I thought.
Maloney, Prime Minister Maloney. However, you've got to figure out a way to restrict immigration, and so people do talk about that. However, like Pope Leo, they are shocked at the way America is rounding up immigrants and hauling them away. People are concerned about that, the ones that would volunteer this to us when they find out we're American. And how could they tell?
J.D. Vance got an audience with Pope Leo. Why was Kessler overlooked by the Pope?
That is a really good question. And what exactly did Leo talk to J.D. about? And what did J.D. say to him? Because they are dismissing and belittling, the White House is, Pope Leo's comments about the treatment of immigrants as Jesus would have us do. And there's a lot of pushback from the White House about that. So, JD's a Catholic, and they did meet, and I just don't know. He came out to meet people the day after we were there. So
it's a couple people are saying wrong reference. Streetcar named Desire.
Pardon me. You're right. Absolutely. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Brunello, Vino Nobile.
Thank you.
Barolo.
Thank you.
What's Kessler's favorite flavor?
Brunello
guy.
Not even close.
It's a slam dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Since I was at the winery.
You've traveled abroad before. This isn't your first trip, but not a lot, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
So is this on another level? Because like I said, everybody who travels to Italy tells me that even if they travel a lot, that there's just something different there.
Well, how many times do you go on vacation and you say, God, I love this place. And then you take the next step and think, God, should we live here? Should we get a place here?
Did you get a condo?
Well, you think about it.
Yeah, sure.
And then people are saying, well, here's where you could live in Cartona near Russell Crowe's home in Gladys. You could live there, a villa, for a lot less than you can buy something in Palm Springs.
Think about it.
Or Fridley.
You guys are tempted, aren't you?
Yes.
You're tempted.
Yes. But there's a lot of verbals and stuff there.
The prettiest spot you landed on, would you say? Just aesthetically speaking, forget history or culture, just the prettiest, where you go, this is beyond beautiful. Tuscany is,
Yeah, absolutely. Have you been there?
No, I've never been to Italy.
Yeah, so it's just beautiful. And they have these ancient towns that are still standing with that they haven't been torn down like we do in our young country of 250 years old, our country. And I love America, but we tend to tear down buildings and put new ones in their place. You don't have that there. And so everything is old, cobblestone streets, stone streets, narrow alleys.
Gaardsy asked me if I had FOMO earlier regarding the Vikings trip and reporters who went. I really didn't. On this one, I do. Because it just, like I said, now Louis goes like every 15 minutes. But so he's not a good example, but he tells us great stories about various spots in Italy, knows the country better than anybody I know. but I you look for, okay, well, there's got to be a few horror stories, and I've not heard them when it comes to Italy.
We didn't have one.
Yeah.
People are so kind.
Yeah.
And we are, I'm not going to say we're the ugly Americans because we're not, but I don't speak Italian. Everybody there
speaks English.
Yeah. And I even bought the
Did you?
The AirPod Pro dealies.
Yeah, right.
Where you can hit it and it will translate.
Are you
in
serious?
Your ear. Yes. So I could hear, and then it became, well, maybe I could hear what they're saying about me. Like, what a doofus.
Yeah.
What a dinkus.
Are you better off not knowing that?
Yeah.
Was it deflating?
They said, we normally don't like Americans, but these two.
Yeah, right.
And look at that woman.
Yeah, well,
She's
I'm
beautiful.
sure she is. But I, at some point, I'm just wondering, is this clown with her trying too hard to look like Marcello Mastroianni?
Yeah, I got
with the sunglasses and the scarf.
I said, honey, what do you think?
And the merce,
and
the whole
then
bit.
They got the man bag.
Yeah.
And I said, honey, she says, be you. It's a tight-fitting leotard type thing.
What does that go back to? I don't remember that. That's a good one.
I was so high. Yeah. Was I at the strip club?
Did you guys eat late? Like, that's the custom there, like with Spain, right? You eat dinner late?
Yes,
that's when it's fashionable?
Went to a restaurant called Imperioli in Rome, Al Pacino's favorite restaurant.
Naturally.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't even open till 7:38.
Yeah.
And so you got to go 9:30, 10:30, and
What was your favorite?
Teeth in the glass right there.
What was your favorite pasta dish?
Cacio de pepe.
Seriously?
Yeah, that they make that. And of course
melts in your mouth, I bet.
Although we made our own at the home of a chef.
What are you talking about?
Cooking class, dude.
Oh, I see.
Sure, why not? Spicy.
All right,
and then a limoncello to end the evening. But
it's good to be you, man.
Yeah, this is the new
it's
me.
It's good to be you.
Yeah,
it's a different look. I don't think you're ever going to go back. I don't think you're ever going to go back to being the previous Kessler.
The Prince album?
I do.
Dirty Mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Are you going to dress in his outfit on the cover?
Is he got is that a thong deal he's got on?
Clad, yeah.
That was early Prince.
Early Prince. I think it was
big
the
on that
second album.
So your buddies say this is the greatest album ever, or we know he's a great artist because of Dirty Mind.
Well, that was a great. I mean, at the time, it was groundbreaking. It really was.
Well, yeah,
it was like something different's going on here.
Well, it was so shocking.
Something different. Well, it was, but it was also good funk. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
There was good stuff to it, I would argue as well. All right, we got to get to some of the news of the day. Good travelogue, good overview. You got gifts for both of us?
Yes, I got you a hand wipe from the Italian train. I do.
That's better than
I watched it today. I said, I can't wait to see what you brought us.
I was so shocked that you were anticipating gifts.
Well, I kind of
because the last time I brought gifts, you turned up your nose at me and said you don't want them.
I did?
Yeah, it was the gifts from the bounty from my garden.
Tomatoes from his garden.
And it's not my fault
it's a little
that the zucchini was shaped like a human anatomy. That's not my fault. I mean, you don't want it. You don't even want to touch it. Very, very big.
We got a break. We'll come back and try to get to some news if we can. Stay tuned. Kessler back with us after an extensive travelogue in our last segment. We barely touched the surface.
Well,
that's the thing.
It's true.
So much.
I tell you how lovely the people in Italy are. Just one final note. They would ask where we're from. And we'd say Minneapolis. And kind of a, vacant stare.
Yeah.
And so we said, where Prince lived. Oh!
Changed everything?
Oh, my God. And then sometimes people would say, did you know him? Because he lives in your town? Or lived in your town? I said, no, not really. So Prince is big the world over.
You think if you'd said St. Paul rather than Minneapolis, they have stronger
We did
feelings?
that too.
You did that too?
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's where you live.
Like most people, we said St. Paul. In Minnesota, we said all of that.
Well, maybe if you'd said Minneapolis, they would have appreciated it. You tried too hard to be authentic. St. Paul. Oh.
Well, we said St. Paul all the time.
Okay, we're happy for you.
But, fewer people knew where that is. So what do you do?
All right, let's try to get to some news here of the day. I'm looking at a tweet from earlier today. In fact, this might have been on your list. The president is making plans for a significant aid package for U.S. soybean farmers. The package could include, according to CBS, more than $10 billion in relief. And a lot of people are asking, I think, the fairly obvious question is this an attempt to deal with the degree to which soybean farmers have been punished because of Trump's policy decisions in the first place?
Yes. This is socialism. I mean, people are upset about what's the dude's name in New York, Mamdani?
Yeah.
I mean, this is socialism too. So the president imposes these tariffs and continuously, we don't know, maybe it'll work. But first they said immediately it would work. But what happened?
It's corporate welfare is what it is.
That's exactly what it is. It is directing capital, directing the economy. The government is intervening in the economy to do certain things for certain outcomes. And in this case, the tariffs caused China to almost completely stop buying soybeans from American farmers, including millions of bushels of soybeans from the great farmers in Minnesota. So this is not working. The bottom has dropped out of the market. There is virtually no sales. China is now buying its soybeans, and it's a big deal in China, soybeans, buying soybeans from Brazil and Argentina. So now the president is going to go in, and we have heard in reporting that it's a $10 billion package, but that's just to start. It could be as much as $50 billion. Where are you going to get the money? Do you take it from all the tariffs that are being paid to the government? We don't know that there's that much yet. So this is, in fact, a direct cause and effect. The tariffs caused the sales to go to almost zero for soybeans and Minnesota farmers. So now they got to figure out a way to fix it. Create the problem and then fix it. You're the hero.
We've had government shutdowns before. A lot of people have suggested this one's different. This one is likely to last a lot longer. There's no real end in sight. So what do you think? If you read the tea leaves, is this one more likely to be much more long-lasting and then, to that extent, potentially much more damaging?
Boy, I don't see it. The president had the longest shutdown in U.S. history in his first term. I think it was 35 days, and that was shut down because
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it was the longest one in history, and he refused to sign bills, do anything. The government shut down because Congress would not appropriate the money to build a wall, the billions of dollars it would take to build a wall in Mexico. We can talk about that forever, but this one, I just cannot believe that they are going to let this go much farther. We saw the hints that President Trump says, I can make a deal with the Democrats. Yeah, I'm open to a deal. We don't know that yet, but the words coming from the president's mouth are a little scary to workers. He says that this is going to give them a tremendous opportunity to lay off or fire tens of thousands of federal workers. And the ones who are furloughed or the ones who are forced to come to work, the essential workers, he is saying that they may not be entitled to back pay when the shutdown ends. So these are scary things for families. And by the way, no back pay includes the U.S. military. So our soldiers, our Army men, Army women, service members are not getting paid. The first paycheck, I think, is next week, the 15th of the month. And there ain't no paycheck for the military. So we'll see where that goes. That could also end this more quickly. And one final thing.
Sure.
The air traffic controllers are beginning to call in sick, not show up to work. It's a little bit of a slowdown. Freaks me out a little bit when air traffic controllers are unhappy and they're working double shifts and all of that. That forced an end to the last shutdown, and I wonder if that'll help too. So I cannot imagine, and I'll come back and admit I'm wrong, but I can't imagine.
You'll be
that
surprised.
This is going to go. I'll be very surprised if this goes.
Well, how does the
log
logjam get busted, though? Who has to move?
Somebody's got to give.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody's got to give. And trying to blame the Democrats, it's mostly false, but there is some truth to, you've got all this money. Obamacare has been a mess since it was first instituted, but now it's part of our institutions. Now it is part of our system, and they got to figure out a way to do this. And Democrats don't trust the Republicans when they say, we promise we'll talk to you about this when it's over. I wouldn't trust them, but they got to move. Somebody's got to move.
This is out of thehill.com. Republican senators are increasingly uneasy about the president's standoff with Democratic governors over deploying National Guard troops from other states to Portland and Chicago. Conflict escalated dramatically over the weekend when Trump moved to send National Guard soldiers to Oregon and Illinois, despite opposition from both. It's all relative because I think basically there's 3 Republicans who are allegedly expressing this unease. That's not enough, right? I mean, it's going to have to be much more of a groundswell, and I don't think there's much indication that there's much stomach for really bucking the president on this on the Republican side of the aisle, is there?
Well, if you've got 3 Republicans doing it publicly, there are many more behind the scenes that are not, and that's where the pressure will build.
Well, yeah, but you need more public too.
He's threatening, and I cannot believe this will happen. I mean, maybe I'm naive, but he is threatening to arrest the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois if they get in his way. And meantime, they're staging these Black Hawk helicopters with ICE agents rappelling down to the top of an apartment. They've got cameras set up all around for a recruitment video, hauling people out of here. Did people sign up for this? I don't know why President Trump doesn't take the W of how many people are crossing the border? And it was a mess when Biden was there. There was nobody stopping it. Hundreds of thousands were pouring across the border. How many today?
2.
Yeah, 4. 7. He has essentially stopped the bleeding at the border. And if I were President Trump, I'd take the W and say, look what I did. And he did. So good for you. But this is getting bad.
Did you notice
getting real bad?
We're running out of time, unfortunately. But did I not read that your guy, Governor Walz, when asked, said, I will not be running for president again in 2028. I don't think the Illinois governor, he played with it a little bit more. Yeah. He kept the door open, but did not. Isn't this the first time
That's really
Walz
the first time I ever heard it.
I'm not running for president.
It was at the Minnesota Star Tribune's first ever North Star Forum. It was kind of cool. A lot of news came out of it.
Why did they have to bring a New York Times reporter in there to host it?
I'm just back, but I'm going to find out because I thought, why? Have Rochelle Olson do all of them.
You got people
seriously,
here. Yeah.
You can do this. Yeah, not only he said, I'm not running for president in 28, he's running again. And then former Governor Pawlenty, the Republican, said, Republicans can't win here. He's the last guy to win statewide, last Republican. In 2006, people have been urging him to run again, either for Senate or governor. He says the party's magnified. I would never win. So let's let Mike Lindell have a chance.
That should work in the state of Minnesota.
That would be an incredible campaign. So Walz says
it'd be entertaining, but it wouldn't be effective.
He's preparing for Trump to send troops to Minnesota, and he's probably not wrong. Also says, I am prepared to be arrested. So, I mean, where are we going with all of this?
You tell me.
And if you see a recruitment video from ICE that you can carry a gun and wear masks, who is joining right now? Who is becoming an ICE agent because you can do that with looks like a video game, those videos. So, I mean, get the really, really bad people out, but you're arresting grandma who's been running a bakery for 30 years. So where are we?
We're out of time. I'm sorry. I went long with the travel.
I got more.
Well, there's always more time. You'll be, I think, unless you're, going to hit.
Well, I do have more travel.
Iceland, I heard you're going to next. Iceland. It's supposed to be outstanding.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's supposed to be unbelievable.
Do a weekend right from here, nonstop to Reykjavik.
Is that true?
From here? Yeah, absolutely, man.
You'd be flying coach or?
You are so cute.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Pat Kessler, 5, 6, and 10, Channel 4, back to wrap things up.
Show Wrap is presented by American Pressure, commercial-grade pressure washer since 1975.
It's the Bumper to Bumper Show Wrap.
We are back, a final segment, wrapping things up. Outstanding crew of guests today. 2 of the 3 in studio, back from European trips, right? Kessler to Italy, and there and other spots thereabouts. And the Seifert trip, of course, took him to Dublin and to London. Seifert joined at 3:30, actually 3:15. He started today. And we wrapped up the 4 o'clock hour with him, or started it, and then Mason Your Face between 4 and 5 from his new locale, Fargo. That's become kind of a regular thing for him. And Kessler between 5:30 and well into the 6 o'clock hour.
You think the Bison or Fighting Hawks coaching staffs have thought about bringing Mason just to grab a whistle and see what he sees?
It's not a bad idea.
I mean, wouldn't you want to? Obviously, they know what they're doing in both spots, but Mason doesn't sound like he's got much to do up there. Let him watch a couple of drills. He'd do it.
Well, I mean, I don't think at this point you can rule anything out. I mean, in Mace's face, he definitely, in Mace's case, speaking of Mace's face, I think it's very, very possible that takes place. Tomorrow is Thursday. Sean Salisbury is going to join. And the inbox, and am I missing anything? Is that it for right now?
Russo Radio.
Oh, Russo Radio. That's right. Minnesota Wild hockey back in action here on the Fan. We start our season, and we'll kick it off with Russo tomorrow. The news with Sean Salisbury is not all good. We'll talk to him, I'm sure, about it a little bit. He's tweeted about it. I've reached out to him. But he was let go. He was laid off, one could say, from a fellow iHeart station in Houston, Texas. He had a very popular sports talk morning show in Houston. I think it was 790 on the dial, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds right, yep.
AM. And he sent out a very, I thought, gracious note under conditions, thanking everybody for the support he got over the years and understanding that sometimes that's the way these decisions go. And so we'll talk football with him and a little bit of how he's doing. He tells me he's doing well. He's got some other big plans, and
he's like the busiest guy in show business.
He's very resourceful.
He's got multiple shows,
and I think he still kind of keeps himself in the football business too. I think he works with some players. He works with some quarterbacks. He does a little bit of everything. It's sort of like Sam Mitchell. You know, Sam is still working with young basketball players in some cases, I should say. And then he's obviously doing some really good national broadcasting work. And as I mentioned, I think he's coming into town at some point this weekend. And I'm going to see if there's any. I don't know how long he's staying, but maybe even getting him on early next week. So I still haven't gotten to my WNBA item that it's playing off of a pretty interesting investigative piece that was released via ESPN.com, dropped a couple of days ago, regarding the ongoing brawl between the players and the commissioner, and the Nafisa Collier component of that story as well. That kind of laid it out pretty well. I think they also did a pretty good job giving background on the economic state of the league, where it's really at this point, where it still needs to grow despite a significant level of growth to this point as well. So I'll try to find. We have fewer guests tomorrow, so tomorrow might be the day for us to explore that, and thereby probably I will further annoy some very sensitive Lynx fans. There's about 9 stories I didn't touch today, but that's okay. I mean, that's the beauty of being on 5 days a week, right? There's always another show
tomorrow, and it's a full show tomorrow, 3 to 6:30, because of no Vikings programming.
Oh, that's right.
We will lead you right into a 15-minute Fan on Demand on the air, and then Wild Hockey.
Okay.
So you'll have plenty of time to stretch.
That all makes sense. Coomers Cubs leading a game they have to win at Wrigley. They're still up. I think it's 4-2.
Did Kessler tell you the
in the
Brewers
6th
angle?
to the 7th. Yes, he's pretending to be a big Brewers rube.
Well, he's going to go to
such
the
a
games.
Fraud. I know.
Yeah,
well,
it's the permanent +1.
Because Freaky's got to.
Yeah, he's the permanent +1, and now she's in charge of Milwaukee, too.
And he's pretending he's this big Brewers fan.
It's incredible.
It's just for the.
He loves the crew.
TV is so phony. It's amazing. It doesn't really seem to matter. I mean, I get it in Freaky's case.
Yes.
I don't know that I necessarily do in his. But he also claims that he'll be hanging out with the athletic director.
Yeah, he will
for
be.
Homecoming.
Again, that's a Freaky production.
Yeah.
It's just he's the permanent +1.
The coattails thing is, it's remarkable how it's worked out for him.
It's funny how every name drop situation that he wedged into my 7 to 10 minutes with him in this studio made it into your studio as well. That he dropped all the same names with me that he dropped with you. So I think he just does that with every conversation now.
Yeah, I think it's become almost like second nature to him. Like you said, he's further from being the farm boy than he's
so
ever been in his life. It's not even. It's a different human being.
There is not a soybean subsidy that could get him back to being the farm boy.
No, it's sad, but very, very true, Davey.
But we love him. We still love him.
How could you not? How could you not? That's for sure. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you texting. All those things as are always true for us. And we look forward to tomorrow's visit. What do we have coming up later tonight on the Fan, you said?
Fan on Demand, then Wild Weekly, then Dan Patrick.
Okay. Good combination. Enjoy the rest of looks like a very nice evening. A little crisp. That's good. We'll talk to you at 3 tomorrow.
Where are we, America?